All right, guys, I want to talk about manifesting today. But first of all, hello everybody. Welcome back to another video. I'm Blackwood, your Silicon Valley Sage Sister, here to bring consciousness to the forefront of your daily life to make life a little kinder and simpler. So I get this question a lot, and I know my mentors get this question a lot too, because they talk about it too. What happens when it looks like it's not gonna happen? Well, what do? Well, this is when, I talk about there's always more than one way to do anything, and the universe is always conspiring in our favor. So I want to tell you a story. For those of you who haven't seen my Instagram stories, and even those who have, I want to give a little more detail on the story to give this as an example. So, for those of you who have seen my Instagram stories, and those of you who've seen some of my other videos, I got rear-ended the other day, about a week and a half ago now, 2 weeks ago, and I had just filled the car with gas. And so, even though this was somebody else's car that I got rear-ended in, I ended up keeping it in my driveway for a little bit because I wanted to try to get that gas out of there so that he could put it in the rental car. Because I had just filled the tank and the car was going to get taken away and totaled because it got rear-ended hard enough that even though I didn't hit the person in front of me, when I got rear-ended, it was hit hard enough that it's definitely totaled. So I decided I wanted to get the gas out. And the first couple of ways that I tried didn't work. But as my best friend said just before she passed away, she said, "Annie, you can do anything that you put your mind to. If you really want it, you can make it happen." And that always stuck with me because she was right. But I always took that to heart. And so that led into this idea that when it comes to manifesting anything, whether it's actually doing something or spiritually manifesting something, there's always more than one way to do anything. And there's this other concept of easy is right. So I call it my mechanic, and he actually gives me an idea that's easier than the way I was trying to do it already. And then I made it happen. I got the gas out of the car, and I was so excited because I was at that point where everything else I had tried didn't work, and it looked like it wasn't going to happen. But you have that moment where the universe tests you and says, do you really want this? And that's when your faith and perseverance comes in, and you have to say, yes, I do really want this, and I'm willing to try anything to make it happen. And then you're often handed an easier way. So I want anybody to keep this in mind when they're trying to make anything happen. Because when it comes to manifesting, when it comes to doing anything in life, you're gonna run up against that point where it looks like it might not happen. And that's the point where you've really got to ask yourself, is this not happening because I don't want it to happen? And if the answer is yes, then you might actually want to consider letting it go. But if the answer is no, I definitely want this to happen, then that's the time to double down with your faith and make it happen. Because the universe can only guide us so far. God, source, spirit, cosmic consciousness, higher self can only guide us so far. We have to take the physical steps. And so that's the moment to ask for this or something greater to happen, this or something better to happen. Whoops. And it will. If you really want it, you've got to just keep that faith that it's going to happen, even though it looks like it might not. because that's when you know that you're just on the other side of actually making it happen. And like with my car story, calling my mechanic was my last option. I was literally at that point of, okay, if this doesn't work, then I'm going to give up. But I didn't give up. I tried that one last thing, and that's the moment when it happens. So, I wanted to just remind everybody of this today, because I know it can be hard sometimes, especially in the beginning, you know. Especially when you're just starting to learn how this whole manifesting thing works, how this whole life thing, making life kinder and simpler thing works. You've got to really want it, and you've got to be able to ask to see all possible ways and be willing to try all possible ways of making something happen. Because it will happen. Like I said, when you get to that point, if you get to that point where it looks like it's not going to happen, you're right on the other side of it happening. And you've got to just know and trust. And then ask to be shown the way. And you will be shown the way. So, speaking of which, we are making miracles happen over here. It's hot out. I'm stopping in all the shade now. We are making miracles happen over here. One of those miracles, as I just said, I was rear-ended in someone else's car. And to say that this person hasn't had an easy life is an understatement. I talk a little bit about that in my last video. And this was the only thing he owns. It's an old car. The insurance isn't going to pay out much because of how old it was. It was like a mid to late 90s Toyota Camry. And so I asked myself, what's the best possible outcome here? What is the miracle we can make happen here? What can I manifest to make this? What would be the best possible outcome to happen from what would otherwise look like a bad situation? Because you can always get yourself to the best outcome of any situation. And what I realized would be the best possible outcome for him would be getting his first ever new car. I know, first world problems, eh? But still, for the life that he's had, being able to gift him with the opportunity to get his first ever brand new car, that would be truly a miracle in his life. So, the thing is this is one of those miracles I can't do on my own. That I need help from God, Source, Spirit, Cosmic Consciousness, Higher Self, and your help. And what I realized was that it would just take 2,000 people to give $5. And most people already have given more than $5. So that just means we only need less people. And we're getting there, but we're still on our way. So I need your help. I have this video and 2 others that you can share to help me get the word out. And there have already been people who shared and who've donated. And I want to say thank you. I don't have my list with me, and there's too many at this point to memorize. So I want to say thank you to everybody who's donated so far. Thank you to everybody who shared so far. We're getting there. So keep sharing. We can make this happen. We can get these donations. Just 2,000 people to give $5 each, and we've already gotten so many donations that have been more than $5 each. So that just means we need less people to reach. And let me tell you, the word touched doesn't even begin to describe the response that I feel from the response I've gotten from everybody. So I'm going to put the links to the videos as well as the links to donate down in the description wherever this video is posted, maybe up in the description wherever this is posted. When we set our minds to anything, we can make it happen. I know it's not just me, because I work with people every day who find this out about themselves too. So, help us make this miracle happen. Share, share, share. Like I said, I've got 3 different videos at this point, including this one, that you can share to help us make this miracle happen. And thank you to everybody who already has, and thank you to everybody who's about to, because I know you are. So thank you in advance. May the energy you serve you well. I've also got the meditation series I just made for Patreon, because for this 2 weeks that I'm doing this fundraiser, I don't know if you guys can hear that airplane, but it's kind of loud. For the 2 weeks that I'm doing this fundraiser, I'm also making my Patreon subscriptions go to the fundraiser, because I don't ask anybody to do anything that I'm not doing myself. So I'm helping donate to the cause, to the fundraiser, by giving my Patreon subscriptions new and renewed for this 2 weeks. And at this point, they're about to take the rental car. So that's creating some urgency in me to really make this happen even faster, because I want to be able to present him with this, take him to go get a new car the moment that they pay out, so he can put that money on top of this money we've raised for him. And really make a dream come true in his life, because he uses that car to work, and the amount of equipment that he has to bring back and forth from work to work, because he works with kids outside exercising and playing, he can't take public transportation, so he needs a car to get to work, which is part of what made me so devastated to be rear-ended in his car. So I know we can make this happen, and I know we can make it happen before they take the rental car from him, or right after, just right after, so that way I'm gonna have to help him take the rental car back and pick him up in my car, and I want to surprise him with taking him from there to go look at new cars, go get him a new car with that money that he got from the insurance on top of it. I know we can do it. I know we can. So keep sharing, and thank you in advance for donating. Thank you to everyone who has donated. I've got that Patreon subscription with those meditations I just put out. That Gateway meditation, man, I have to tell you, the Gateway program actually has a CIA document going around on the internet about it. That's real. But the Gateway program is a series of meditations that have changed the way I meditate. And so I'm teaching the foundations of those meditations. And then we end my meditation series with creating what they call a resonant energy balloon. I call it the resonant energy bubble. And it's a protective bubble that you use to be energetically protected at all times. You do the meditation once, and you are protected from that point forward. It's so cool. So I teach the series of techniques that leads up to that, and then we put them all together to make the resonant energy bubble. And then last but not least, I've been not talking about it as much because I've been trying to do this fundraiser first and foremost, but I'm also in between session cycles, which means that I'm in the process of interviewing new one-on-one clients. We've just started the new session cycle, but I still have spots left because I decided we'd just get started even though I'm a little behind. But no worries, if you start after now, you still get the same amount of time, because you start where we start, even though I've started the session cycle itself. So all those links are going to be below. And yeah, we're making miracles happen, baby. We really are. And I can't wait to surprise him. He's not a social media person. I got lucky. So I'm going to get to surprise him with this. So yeah. Thank you guys. May the energy you serve you well. Let's keep making our way through. I'll see you in the next video.